What's up, friggin' world?
Are you really wearing another tank top?
I know it's warm, man. Come on.
Yeah, so...
You know this. You've already lived through it. You already did it. You know this. Where you are, yes, it's not as warm, but right now, on this day,
Okay.
it's hot.
Oh, okay.
Forgive me.
All right, you got a point. I'm gonna back up.
What's up, friggin' world? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. My name is Justin Copeland, and on this channel, Stay Fresh Productions, we talk about everything dealing with fragrances. Any interest in that kind of content, then you have made it to the destination of today for you. You made it to the right place. Hit that subscribe button. By doing so, you join the Fresh Squad. What is that? Honestly, I don't really need to say much. I think you'll just feel it. Your freshness will be enhanced. Again, you will feel it, others will smell it, so just do it. It is that time of the year. I've already done a summer niche fragrances list. You can check that out here. But today we're talking about designer fragrances. Yes, my designer picks, these are gonna be a little bit more accessible in terms of actually being able to purchase them in a number of places. They're going to be more accessible in terms of price. They're not as expensive as the niche. And they're also gonna be more accessible in terms of scent profile. These are gonna be more easy to wear, easy to like fragrances, but I did try to get a few that I find quite interesting and not just completely generic, but nothing wrong with generic. I just like to try to bring you guys different stuff that you're not gonna see everywhere else. So that's just me. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Here at number 10. This is number 10 because it is probably the most generic fragrance on this list. And it's also the newest fragrance to my collection. I haven't really spent much time with it, so I can't rank it much higher than this, but it does have my attention. I was a little bit surprised by it, not completely surprised, but a little bit. This is an oldie, but a goodie. And this is coming from Liz Claiborne. This is called Claiborne Sport. Some of you might remember this if you were coming up wearing fragrances in the late 90s, early 2000s. This did come out in 1997. And it kind of does smell like 1997, but I have a very soft spot for that time. That was one of my favorite times of my life. Life was simple and easy, and things just smelled like this. Now, what does it smell like? Very, very, very fresh, very aromatic, kind of cooling in a way. What I love about it is that it is super fresh without being citrusy. There's really no citruses in here at all. What you're mainly gonna get up top is some tomato leaf. We're actually gonna see another fragrance in this list with tomato leaf. Brings a little bit of a green aromatic nature, but ultimately it's very fresh mixed with some lavender, which I do find quite prominent in here. You do get some spices and florals in the heart. Ginger is probably most prominent, but you do get a bit of cardamom as well. And it dries down to a pretty simple base, just kind of musky, ambery woods, but not really that ambery, more musky, woody. It's kind of musky right off the bat here. I love that aromatic, spicy, musky freshness that this gives. Again, very much akin to the year this came out. I think it's very likable. I think it's really easy to wear, and it's also pretty dang cheap. But this might show up on the cheapy list as well, if we do one. That is Claiborne Sport from Liz Claiborne. I actually made a mistake. That was number 11 because we have 11, because why not? So this is number 10 here. And this is also pretty new to my collection. I haven't worn it that much. That's why it's so low. I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it as it starts to heat up. I do enjoy it, but I'm just kind of captured by other things. This is Ultrared Man from Paco Rabanne. This came out over 10 years ago, was discontinued, started popping up again. I totally missed the train on that. I wasn't really locked into how people were talking about it. This was actually sent to me by my good friend Steve over at Fragrance Fanatic via Ross. So thank you both, appreciate this. And this stuff smells like kind of an orange creamsicle to me. Very simple note breakdown. You get blood orange, very juicy, very bright, very zingy orange note, but immediately mixed with some vanilla and even some praline and tonka bean. So there's a lot of kind of creamy sweetness in here with a touch of patchouli in the background. People say it kind of smells like Mugler Ultra Zest. I do agree with that. I get that vibe. This is not quite as earthy as Ultra Zest, as the patchouli note in that fragrance is much more enhanced. So if you don't really care for patchouli, this might be the way to go if you like the idea of kind of this fresh, creamy, sweet orange vanilla like scent. A great playful fragrance for the summer. That's Ultrared Man. I'll link it where I can find it, because it's not that easy to find. Here at number 9, coming from the House of Guerlain, this is a total classic. Not the most quintessential summer scent, but it still works. This is Vetiver, a very old fragrance, but timeless. It smells so good. It's basically clean woods, clean, woody, fresh vetiver. Vetiver is kind of this earthy, woody scent that can have many different facets to it, but in this case, it's very clean. There's a lot of citrus in here, kind of accenting it. You do get some nice lemon and things like that. There's some white florals in here that kind of rounds it out a bit, some neroli, kind of makes it a little bit soapy, but mostly bright, sour citruses, again, slightly soapy neroli, but a lot of woody, clean vetiver. Very classy stuff that I would mostly wear in the daytime. And it's pretty light, so you can spray a little bit more of it. That is Vetiver from Guerlain. Here at number 8, again, not necessarily quintessentially summer, but I think it does work very nicely. This is L'Uomo Team from Yves Saint Laurent. This is discontinued, so you may want to pick it up while you can. Not the freshest fragrance on this list at all, but this is something I might wear mostly at night. It's a great fresh scent for the night. This is primarily, if I could boil it down to just 3 main facets here: ginger, rose, and woods. That's mostly what I get here. The rose is made a little bit sweet, either by the rose itself or something else. It's a very fresh, light rose with quite a spicy, zingy ginger and a nice woody, dry backbone. It smells very elegant without being overly formal. I think it's beautiful and it's great for the warmth. That is L'Uomo Team from Yves Saint Laurent. Here at number 7, we have a brand new release, the newest release from Hermes. Kind of getting some mixed reviews. I'm not crazy about it, but the times that I've worn it, I've enjoyed it. It does just kind of smell great and smell refined, and it does what I want it to do. This is called H24. I think it smells really nice. It's a very simplistic scent, which is the only thing I'm not crazy about. I wish it had some development. You do get clary sage. I think there's a little bit of citrus in here. There's got to be some bergamot, but they don't list it. But there's this bright citrusy quality when you first spray it on, but it's mostly green, a touch of a herbaceous sweetness in there. It's a little bit metallic as well, and woody. That's mostly what I get out of it. Again, green, metallic, fresh, kind of zingy in a way, but again, they're not going to admit to it, and it's woody. And it goes perfectly with a white pressed collared shirt. And I think that's the vibe they're going for here. This is a great, elegant scent for the daytime, but it can also be an everyday scent. It functions, it's fresh. It's very appealing. It's very refined, but I think it can work for pretty much any time of the season. Performance is not great. I maybe get 5 to 6 hours out of this, so that's unfortunate, but it is a fresh scent. What do you expect? You can always spray more. That's H24 from Hermes. Here at number 6, we got a total classic, one of my most nostalgic fragrances in my collection. We got Tommy from Tommy Hilfiger. Man, Alberto Maria's here. I think he did a great job with this. This smells like my childhood. I have again a nostalgic connection to it, so you may not care for it, but I love this stuff. Very aromatic with lavender, a touch of a sweet apple in there. You do get some nice mint. There's a bit of a cactus, kind of woody nuance in the background. It's a little watery. It's sweet, fresh, kind of fresh out of the shower in a way, kind of musky. Kind of gives you a similar vibe as the Claiborne, but they don't really smell the same. But they are in that same wheelhouse. So they could be redundant in terms of serving the same purpose. So I would maybe choose one over the other. This is a classic. I really do love Tommy from Very cheap as well. Into the top 5. One of the most unique summer fragrances you can get, if you can still get it. It is discontinued, not super easy to find, but still out there. And I think for a decent price. From Valentino, we got Uomo Acqua. Such a unique blend of elements here. You do have green tomato leaf, kind of like we had in the Claiborne. That green herbaceous freshness is in there, but it's mixed with iris. Kind of a powdery, clean iris, nowhere near waxy or anything like that. This is on the clean and fresh side of things. You do get some sweetness in there, but it's a fresh sweetness, and I think that comes from mandarin orange, which is a fresher, fruitier kind of citrus quality with a sweetness in there. You do have a bit of an herbaceous nature in the heart from sage, and it does dry down to kind of the signature of this collection, which is iris and leather. The leather is very subdued, You barely get it. But the iris plays a role actually from the very beginning, even though it's just in the base. So you mostly get this very clean, fresh, kind of herbaceous, kind of sweet, but powdery, floral, elegant scent that just smells divine. Not gonna perform amazing, but not the worst. Really good stuff if you can get it. That's Valentino Uomo Acqua. Here at number 4, one of my all-time favorites. In terms of summer rotation, you gotta have this. That is L'Homme Ideal Cologne from Guerlain. I talk about it often, as do many other people. This is creamy, kind of lemony, sweet, bright, a little bit woody. Oh, it's so just delightful. It's a delightful scent that's going to make everyone around you just feel better, just feel uplifted. Very elegant, but it can also be quite casual when you want it to. And I think it's perfectly unisex. That's L'Homme Ideal Cologne. Here at number 3, this is ranked at number 3 because this is one of the easiest fragrances to wear in my collection. It's so versatile. It smells super basic, but I actually really enjoy it. This is Prada Rossa Carbon. I talk about it a lot. I've talked about it recently. Fresh, spicy, aromatic. This kind of smells like a modern fougere in a way. It does smell reminiscent to Dior Sauvage, which is based on, they totally copied Sauvage, but I prefer this because it's a little smoother, creamier, rounder around the edges, not near as spicy as Sauvage can be. The ambroxan is toned down here, which can bring a sharpness, kind of a metallic sharpness in Dior Sauvage that is not present here. This is much more refined. I love this stuff. That's Prada Rossa Carbon. You can probably get it about 50 bucks or less in most places that are discounted. Good stuff. Okay, here at number 2, this is a very popular scent that I used to own. I got rid of it and I recently got it back, and I'm so happy to have it back in the collection. This is from Prada. No surprise here, no newbie to the community. This is Prada L'Homme, the original. Yes, I would definitely rock this in the summertime. I used to wear this a lot back in the day, and I really loved it. Very classy daytime wear. This is also based around iris, clean, powdery, but more on the sweeter side of things, and definitely more powdery than the Valentino. You got some spices up top to kind of help it give it a little bit of lift and zing, but it does have a nice sweet warm amber as it dries. It dries much warmer than the Valentino, and it's also quite soapy. Probably one of the most popular iris fragrances out right now in terms of stuff to wear in the warmer weather. I simply love it. I'm glad to have it back. And that's all I'm gonna say about Prada L'Homme. Really, really beautiful fragrance. And what is my number 1 spot? What's the number 1 spot? What is quintessential summer for me? Well, in this moment, it is Sean John 3 AM. I've been talking about this a lot lately. I talked about it a lot last year. I cannot get enough of this stuff. This is like, it's fresh and summery and playful, but there's something sexy about it. It has this like kind of musky, fuzzy quality to it that kind of binds everything together, but it smells very fresh, very effervescent. There's this tonic water accord. It's almost fizzy in a way. You do have, I think, maybe a little bit of citrus. You do have some fig leaf, kind of this green freshness in there. There's maybe some cardamom, a fresh spiciness. There's even a little bit of leather. It smells like a really good drink. It kind of smells like almost reminiscent to like gin in a way, like a gin kind of based drink. Very fun, but there's something alluring about it that I love. And as you guys already know, that atomizer though. And because of that atomizer, it functions very well as a room spray because it's filling the room now. It really comes out as a fine mist. You can soak yourself in this stuff. Performance isn't amazing, but I get decent. I get about 6-7 hours, which is fine. And very inexpensive, very inexpensive. Has a certain uniqueness to it, but very appealing. I think it strikes that balance very well, and it just resonates with me. I love to wear it. I love the attention it gets me, and I'm gonna be wearing it a lot this summer. I'm gonna have links to everything down below, but that's Sean John 3 AM. Okay, those are my picks. You know how we do. Down in the comments, I wanna know, do you wear any of these fragrances? Are you planning on wearing any of these fragrances for the summer? Do you have your eye on any of them? Which one sounds the most interesting to you? And if not any of that, then at least tell me what is your go-to designer fragrance for the summer. I wanna know what you guys are wearing. I'm looking for new stuff, always looking for new stuff, so leave it down in the comments. If you like the video, you already know, like the video. It helps with my visibility across YouTube. Please subscribe to join the Fresh Squad. We're in the summertime, so now's the best time to to increase your freshness. There's no better time, so do it now. Do check out the newest fragrances from Zaharoff. They're still available for pre-order. Mine is called Brass and Soul. I have a video here that tells you everything. They're going quick. There's a limited supply, so you don't want to sleep. Check those out. They will be shipping soon, at least from the time I'm shooting this. Really excited to get those out to you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.